The January transfer window is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing in recent times for Celtic, as Martin O'Neill looks to sharpen his squad and address the glaring need up front. The Hoops' pursuit of Mohamed Bamba from FC Lorient has emerged as a prime story in recent days, with the Ivorian striker apparently catching the eye of Parkhead's management. Reports suggest that Celtic have tabled an offer for a loan move with an option to buy, though the details remain under wraps, and it is unclear whether Bamba himself is entirely convinced about moving to the Scottish Premiership this month. What's undeniable is that the 24-year-old has found opportunities limited at Lorient, having contributed 3 goals and 2 assists across 16 appearances, totaling 722 minutes. His minutes have dwindled over recent weeks, and with a spell without scoring in League One since September, the timing could be perfect for a fresh start elsewhere. Despite Bamba's recent struggles to make the most of his opportunities, Celtic clearly value his potential. The Hoops see the striker as someone who could flourish in the right environment, and the proposed move is being described as a prestigious exit route for the Ivorian in January. Lorient, meanwhile, are reportedly keen to streamline their squad, with multiple players who have failed to make a lasting impact earmarked for potential moves. Bamba appears to be among those players, and Celtic could capitalize on that situation to secure a forward capable of bolstering their attacking options. The January market is always tricky, especially when trying to land someone who might not yet be at the peak of his career. But the chance to bring in a player of Bamba's age and potential is tempting for a club looking to maintain its dominance in the Premiership. The Hoops' need for reinforcements up front has only become more pressing, following the departures of key forwards over the last year. Kyogo Furuhashi exited last January, leaving a gap that proved challenging to fill, and Adam Ida followed in a last-minute deal to Swansea City over the summer. Celtic's transfer strategy has always been meticulous, with replacements mapped out well in advance, yet the center-forward position remains a headache. The only senior striker to arrive after the window had closed was Kelechi Iheanacho, a player of undeniable quality, but one who has been plagued by injuries since his arrival. Shinya Mata, too, has struggled to find the net consistently, leaving O'Neill's squad light in terms of proven goal threat. It is no surprise, then, that the management is exploring other options, with Bamba now featuring prominently among them. Interest has also reportedly turned towards Kieran Bowie, Hibernian's promising young striker. At 23, Bowie has made a name for himself with 9 goals this season, and a total of 15 in 50 appearances since moving to Easter Road the previous summer. While the price tag is rumored to be around £6.5 million, Celtic may see a calculated investment in a young forward with genuine potential as a risk worth taking. The comparisons with Bowie's trajectory are inevitable. Like him, another rising star could slot into Parkhead's system and grow under O'Neill's guidance. However, patience may also be a virtue, with talented youngsters already on the books. The Hoops might find that nurturing existing assets provides a better return than immediately chasing every name linked in the media. In the midst of these transfer considerations, Celtic's injury situation is gradually improving, though the Hoops are still desperate for reinforcements, particularly in attack. O'Neill has confirmed that Kelechi Iheanacho is nearing a return to full fitness, but he will not be available for the upcoming trip to Falkirk. Iheanacho's return is eagerly anticipated, not simply because of his previous quality, but because the team is crying out for a consistent goalscorer. Previous injuries have hampered his ability to establish a rhythm, and Celtic are hopeful that a measured reintegration into the squad will allow him to contribute steadily without further setbacks. Similarly, Marcelo Soraki is edging closer to match fitness. The Uruguayan left-back has impressed in limited minutes this season, offering attacking impetus from deep, though his loan does not include an option to buy. Soraki has been held back due to recurring injuries, and O'Neill has stressed the importance of cautious management to ensure the player is ready for sustained involvement. Currently, Kieran Tierney remains the only recognized left-back fully available, highlighting the thinness of the squad in certain positions. Despite his professionalism and ability to cover, Tierney's fitness has occasionally been a concern, underscoring the delicate balancing act O'Neill faces in maintaining a competitive team across all competitions. The broader issue, however, remains the lack of proven goal-scoring options. Fans have been vocal about the need for one, perhaps two, forwards capable of consistently troubling the Premiership's top defenses. The current squad lacks the depth and finishing quality to meet those demands. And O'Neill knows that January could be decisive in determining whether Celtic remain in contention for the title this season. The absence of Jota adds another layer of complexity. The Portuguese winger has been sidelined for an extended period following an ACL injury, and subsequent setbacks in his rehabilitation have delayed his return even further. Jota was once central to Celtic's attacking creativity, and his prolonged absence raises legitimate questions about the team's offensive potency. There is uncertainty surrounding what kind of player he will be when he finally returns, and whether he can replicate the influence he once had. The squad has had to adapt in his absence, and the urgency to secure additional attacking options has grown. The hope remains that Jota can eventually regain full fitness, but until then, Celtic's immediate concerns are concentrated on January signings and ensuring that O'Neill has the personnel to maintain the team's competitive edge. Meanwhile, the narrative surrounding Celtic's attack has also highlighted a broader theme of managerial influence. The contrast between the chaos left behind by Wilfried Nancy and the calm restoration under Martin O'Neill could not be starker. Nancy's insistence on rigid tactical methods with ill-suited players often led to square pegs being forced into round holes, resulting in a team that struggled for cohesion. In contrast, O'Neill's approach appears more adaptive, utilizing the tools at his disposal to maximum effect. 7 wins from 8 matches this season under his interim management have demonstrated that even a depleted squad can compete for honors when guided with experience and clarity of purpose. Yet even O'Neill's vast experience cannot conjure miracles. The squad requires reinforcements, particularly a striker who can consistently deliver goals. Celtic's ongoing search for the right forward highlights the complexities of modern football transfers. While young prospects like Bowie show promise, there remains a need for players with proven scoring records to carry the burden in critical matches. The balance between investing in potential and securing immediate impact is delicate, and the January window presents a narrow opportunity to correct past deficiencies. Fans are understandably impatient, yet there is an underlying optimism that O'Neill's strategy, combined with strategic acquisitions, will provide the attacking spark necessary for Celtic to maintain their premiership challenge. As Celtic navigate the turbulent January period, the focus remains squarely on finding a forward who can consistently deliver goals and help Martin O'Neill's side stay in contention for the premiership crown. The Hoops hierarchy is acutely aware that the current squad, while competitive, is stretched thin in attacking options. Kelechi Iheanacho's imminent return offers hope, but his history of injuries means O'Neill cannot rely solely on him to carry the forward line. Every match without a reliable striker exposes the team to the risk of drop points, and that is precisely why the potential acquisition of Mohamed Bamba or another forward has become such a pressing matter. Celtic supporters are watching closely, understanding that the club's title ambitions may hinge on securing the right player. In the coming weeks, Bamba's situation at Lorient remains a key talking point. While his minutes have been limited and his scoring record this season modest, the Ivorian's age and raw ability make him an attractive proposition for a team like Celtic, which thrives on developing talent while competing at the top of the league. The Hoops offer, reportedly alone with an option to buy, represents a practical approach, allowing the club to assess the player's adaptation to Scottish football without committing immediately to a permanent deal. If Bamba can rediscover his scoring touch in the Premiership, the gamble could pay off handsomely. Lorient, meanwhile, seem amenable to sanctioning his departure, keen to trim their squad and allow players who have struggled for game time to seek opportunities elsewhere. Meanwhile, Kieran Bowie's emergence has added another layer of intrigue to Celtic's striker search. The young Scot has impressed at Hibernian, finding the net 9 times this season, and gradually establishing himself as a player capable of influencing games at the Premiership level. His performances have attracted interest from multiple clubs, and Celtic's pursuit reflects the long-term strategy of blending youth with experience. Bowie represents potential, but the question remains whether he is ready to shoulder the responsibility of leading the line for a club of Celtic stature. With a significant transfer fee rumored to be involved, Celtic must weigh immediate impact against the promise of nurturing a player who could become a central figure for years to come. While the transfer saga unfolds, Celtic are also managing the delicate task of reintegrating injured players. Kelechi Iheanacho's recovery is progressing well, but he will not feature in the upcoming fixture against Falkirk. His previous injuries highlight the need for a cautious approach to avoid further setbacks. Marcello Soraki, too, is edging closer to fitness, offering attacking intent from the left-back position. Yet his reintroduction must be carefully managed to prevent recurring issues. Kieran Tierney remains the squad's only consistently available left-back, and his fitness is crucial in ensuring stability on that flank. O'Neill's management of these injury comebacks will be pivotal in maintaining squad balance and maximizing available resources during this congested period. The absence of Jota has also left a noticeable void in Celtic's creative output. The Portuguese winger, sidelined since suffering an ACL injury last season, has faced further delays in his rehabilitation, raising questions about the form he will display upon returning. While he was once a key creative figure, time away from the pitch inevitably affects rhythm, confidence, and physical sharpness. Celtic cannot simply expect a mirror image of the player who dazzled previously. Instead, the team must adapt to life without him for the remainder of the season. This reality places even more emphasis on the January window, as securing forwards who can contribute goals becomes essential to offset Jota's absence. Celtic's tactical approach under O'Neill has also shifted in response to these challenges. The contrast between the squad's previous disarray under Wilfried Nancy and the current stability is striking. Nancy's rigid system, which often forced players into unsuitable roles, left the team struggling for cohesion and results. O'Neill, by contrast, has emphasized pragmatism, adaptability, and utilizing the strengths of his available personnel. 7 wins from 8 matches as interim manager demonstrate the effectiveness of this approach, but the gap left by inadequate striker depth is evident. The Hoops require someone capable of consistently scoring 15 or more goals across all competitions to sustain a title challenge and alleviate pressure on the existing squad. Beyond the immediate needs in attack, Celtic are also aware of the broader strategic implications of their transfer activity. Bringing in players like Bamba or Bowie is not just about addressing short-term deficiencies, it also reflects the club's philosophy of blending young talent with experienced professionals to maintain long-term competitiveness. The January window is an opportunity to balance these priorities, ensuring that the squad can compete now while laying foundations for future seasons. O'Neill's challenge is to make calculated decisions that strengthen the team without disrupting the cohesion that has been rebuilt since his return. The pressure on the management is further amplified by the expectations of Celtic supporters, who are acutely aware of the title challenge and the need for silverware. Every decision regarding player acquisitions, injury management, and tactical adjustments is scrutinized, and the margin for error is slim. O'Neill's experience provides reassurance. Yet the January transfer window is notoriously unpredictable, and securing the right forward is far from guaranteed. Fans are hopeful that the combination of strategic signings, returning players like Iheanacho and Saraki, and a coherent tactical framework will allow Celtic to maintain their premiership push and deliver the consistency required to claim top honors once again. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Tension is said to be simmering behind the scenes at Celtic, where Martin Hugh Michael O'Neill is rumored to be edging toward an open confrontation with the club's hierarchy. Whispers from close to the training ground suggest that the Northern Irish manager, a former player with a reputation for iron will, has grown increasingly frustrated with what he perceives as a lack of ambition in the transfer market. While outwardly composed, O'Neill is believed to have delivered a blunt message internally: invest properly or risk losing him. Those familiar with the situation describe a coach who feels the current squad is being stretched to its limits, relying too heavily on loyalty and spirit rather than the reinforcements required to compete at the highest level. O'Neill's camp insists this is not about extravagance, but about backing a sporting vision. The phrase allegedly used in private meetings has already begun to circulate in hushed tones among insiders. The money or I go. It is a stark ultimatum, even by modern football standards, and one that has reportedly caught the board off guard. Speculation suggests the relationship between manager and directors has cooled, with dialogue becoming more formal and less frequent. O'Neill is said to believe that the club's financial caution risks undermining months of work on the pitch, while executives are thought to be wary of committing funds without guarantees. This standoff has fueled rumors that the manager could consider his position untenable if assurances are not forthcoming. Supporters, meanwhile, are left reading between the lines. Public statements remain diplomatic, but the mood feels uneasy, as if a decisive moment is approaching. O'Neill's history as both a player and a coach paints him as a man unlikely to bluff when principles are at stake. Whether this is a calculated move to force action or the first step toward an event, Ewell's separation remains unclear. What is certain is that Celtic finds itself at a crossroads, balancing financial prudence against sporting ambition. As the rumor mill gathers pace, the coming period may define not only O'Neill's future, but the direction the club chooses to follow. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.